Wait, Lucius, you can make people? Well, if you don't mind, I got a couple requests. Thank you to our final patrons, Strawbones, Order 4765, Midnight Gemlord, and Sean. Now, before I'm this breakdown / discussion and review of chapter 350 of Black Clover, please don't forget to leave your own on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You can support for as low as $1, like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks including the live reaction to this very chapter. Now, let's hop into the review. What's up, guys? Welcome to here we are for chapter 350 of Black Clover, which is known as the Saint's Penance, aka Asta. You got a lot of work to do. Regardless, we do get to see, as we open up, that the question is, can Asta's anti-magic break the sister's curse? And we see Asta catching Sister Lily as she begins to fall from the sky and slowly but surely revert away from her possessed presence. And as Asta worriedly asks, "Sister," she goes, "Asta?" And just like with the previous ones that he severed, her connection to her underworld creature slowly fades away, and beneath the horns and the external transformation, she is revealed to be pretty much back to normal. Like, I get it. She technically isn't, but at the same time, she definitely is. Like, her hair is back to its regular... Well, no, her hair never changed color. But at least her entire outfit's back to normal. And we see that under the influence of Lucius, she still doesn't necessarily care, like, what she did. She doesn't excuse herself from. She says, "I'm sorry. I said such horrible things to you." And Asta, now fresh out of DU, is like, hey, don't worry about that. It's okay. I couldn't care less. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. And we see that Lily reflects on the fact that she's been terrible to so many others too. And I do wish, like, don't get me wrong, I do definitely understand that this works. This is shown to us. Like, her reviving the ancient dragon and devastating the landscape and stuff like that. Like, that's bad, but I do wish that we got to see more of Paladin Sister Lily. Like, I think just a whole chapter or two just based around them going around and, like, causing havoc, causing mayhem in the name of Daddy Lucius would have been a lot more. I think it would have added a lot more weight to this terrible feeling she feels. Because realistically, I don't know, unless I'm forgetting something, all she did was destroy empty houses because of the Shogun moving everyone from any danger. And she harmed the Ryuzen 7, but they can all be healed just fine. And she didn't get rid of Asta either, so, like, who did she really, like, at least in terms of, like, hurting, doing extreme damage to people, I feel like Lily's she's kind of gassing it a little bit, but I understand, like, legitimately, as a nun, I'm pretty sure they have a vow of non-violence entirely, so her doing anything destructive or painful to others, like, that's gotta suck for her. That's gotta be extremely heartbreaking to someone whose whole journey in life really is to just help people, whether it be people she knows or people she doesn't know. She never wanted to be in the position she was forced into, and thusly I can definitely still respect the feelings of pain she's going through, and why Asta's own words of comfort can't really do much for her, because the damage is done. Like, mentally and physically, she's already done so much damage to places that she never would have even interacted with if it wasn't for Daddy Lucius. But I don't know. I like it. Do I still wish she got to stick around for longer? Do I wish this fight was, like, saved until, like, the final fight? Or not final fight. Obviously, it's going to be Lucius versus Asta or something like that. But I do wish it was saved at least a little bit longer. Like, you got to realize we had Paladin Lily for, let's see, about 15, 16 chapters. And I mean, it's enough. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still enough. But I definitely think more time could have been put into it to really, really buckle down. But once again, I do think Paladin Lily was just an appetizer. I do think Yuno's going to end up being our main Paladin. Like, the number one Paladin that Asta's going to have a really long, intense battle against before Lucius. And Lily was kind of just a warm-up, showing that this can really happen to anybody. They can still become extremely powerful threats in a very short amount of time. And thusly, someone who is already a very powerful threat, if they were to become a paladin, if they were to become a servant of Lucius, could be nigh on unstoppable. And I definitely think Paladin is going to be a thing, so we can finally get our fight between our two main rivals of the series instead of just them fighting together. And then once Asta wins, they would fight Daddy Lucius together. And I think that's building up. So this is a case where, like, I want more, but I think I can generally understand why we don't have more. Because it's kind of just a natural course of events at this point. I understand what Tabata was cooking, and they're still cooking pretty darn well. And we see that Sister Lily's like, I was troubled by how the noble realm discriminated over magic power. That's why I became a nun, for the sake of peace and equality among all people. But even within the church, discrimination and classism remained. No matter how much I praised the Lord, nothing changed. And so I ran away to the Forsaken Realm, even if I could only do so little. I wanted to try saving anyone I was capable of saving. And yet, And then, bada bing, bada boo. I definitely do like that motivation. Interesting, I'm not sure if this... I guess this implies that Lily was a noble, seemingly enough, because she seems to come from that line, and she made the conscientious choice to become a nun and go to the church and then move to the Forsaken Land. She's not a native. I'm not sure if that was set up already, and I just don't remember, because Black Clover has a lot of characters, and I read a lot of other things at the same time. But if this is just the reveal that she was a noble that essentially went against the ways of the world, I do think that works really, really well. It once again puts into perspective how much she wasn't for what she ended up doing. Like, Lucius wasn't directly controlling her, as is revealed in this chapter. He sort of just kind of gave her deep, thick, and girthy mental suggestions. But even still, that was more than enough to make Lily do things she would have never done in any way, shape, or form. And essentially permanently scar her mentally. Because she essentially enforced something even worse than what she ran away from by trying to execute someone she tried to help when he was younger. We even get a little flashback panel of Asta, and Lily when they were younger, showing how much this hurts her, because she nearly got rid of someone she really, really cared about, even if she'll never love him as a man, because, nun stuff. And we do get to see that Sister Lily does seem to go quiet after this, as she gets cut off. And we see Ryuya show up and be like, hey, it's alright, it's okay, because Asta got stronger because you saved him. Ryu, this time you can depend on him to save you, right? And that is nice. Ryu, I'm definitely still, like, teetering back and forth. I'm not sure if I trust him. and I don't know why. Like, it's partially because I think there's still a lot more context we're missing behind the Yami clan massacre. I just feel like there is stuff that we're missing on that. And two, it's just a lack of full trust. I don't know. For some reason, Ryuya just doesn't elicit full amounts of trust for me, which is so strange. I'm not sure why, but I feel like it's just too convenient at the time. However, we do get to see that with this being said to her, Lily understands that she's essentially passing the torch down to Asta. For the longest time in their entire connection, in their entire life, Lily was protecting him. Lily was raising him. Lily was denying his advances and all that. But now, in a situation where she is too weak to protect him, he needs to protect her and everything she loves and cares for and stands for. And Asta really is kind of the culmination of Lily's entire journey. Sure, Asta does have super crazy broken anti-magic. That's the strongest thing in the verse. But even still, even with that being the case, Asta is a product of Lily, a product of her hard work, a product of her care, her love, her compassion. And now this product of that is going to go ahead and do what Lily herself could never do and stop the ultimate figure of discrimination and control, the ultimate representation of classism and magic supremacy in Lucius. Asta is going to go ahead and break that down for her when she couldn't. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's nice. It's a good way to give Lily, like, closure without, like, really giving her closure, because she knows Asta's gonna do it, but it hasn't happened yet. So once Asta wins, once at the end and we get to, like, the epilogue chapters and stuff like that, I think we'll finally see Lily being able to be properly happy as Asta, having destroyed the ultimate symbol of everything she hated and destroyed. And with that being the case, we do get to see that Lily cries, but accepts this and decides to give Asta the Carfax. And she explains that no, he's not Daddy Lucius anymore. That monster Lucius is preparing for the final battle in the Clover Kingdom. There's only 3 days left until Judgment Day. He plans to combine the Zogratis siblings' body, blood, and bone magic together with his own soul magic to gain unfathomable power. With that, he could alter people's minds and bodies however he pleases. He could even create people from nothing. His magic would be truly like that of a god's. And on Judgment Day, he'll take control of all the magic in the world. And, of course, would include the land of the sun. Now, obviously, this is big body news in more ways than one. Number one, this implies that the Zogratis siblings aren't actually being healed and going to get runbacks against their respective antagonists. Magda's not going to have a runback with Dante. Vanica is not going to have a runback with Noel. And Yudo isn't going to have a runback with Xenon. No, Lucius is just literally just slurping the magic power out of them. He's going to essentially make them peasants. He's going to have them all their magic funneled into himself, so he doesn't actually need them. I thought for the longest time he was going to make them like super paladins, like his direct soldiers underneath him, and use their powers through them. But no, it seems like he's removing them from the equation entirely and just managing to harness their powers directly into himself, which is admittedly a lot more efficient. He doesn't have to deal with any of their personalities, their quirks, their morals, any special conditions that they have, like the case of Xenon with his demon heart. Like, with that being the case, Lucius is set up to be literally unstoppable. He would have all that power on top of the power he obtained from Lucci. And Lucci was already arguably the strongest creature in the entire verse. So them having this much raw ability, this much raw magic, I'm genuinely intrigued to see how Asta in 3 days is going to be able to stop him. Sure, he has the 10 now. Sure, he's definitely probably going to sever the connections that Lucius has with his family, and then slowly but surely Lucci, and then bada bing bada boom, they're all going to have a jump fest against a base Lucius. But even still, that's got to be crazy. The speed, the stats, the ability, the hacks, everything that Lucius is going to have, he's going to be... He has to be insane, like legitimately probably one of the most hacked out new gen antagonists, up there with like crazy spoilers that I'm not going to say. Actually, no. The anime's out. Shigaraki and stuff like that. Like legitimately, the amount of hacks he has access to and the potency of them is going to be bonkers. And I'm excited to see it. However, with that being the case, Asta's blown away. Like taking control of all magic in the world is going to be ludicrous. Like the amount of power that Lucius would have access to at that point would be unstoppable. Imagine every single hacks we've seen in the entire series under Lucius's control, except for like anti-magic. He's essentially pulling a Yuhapa and just absorbing and controlling all the magical abilities. I don't know, him becoming essentially a composite Black Clover character with all the different insane magical abilities we've seen Black Clover characters have up to this point. I would actually like low key. I want him to succeed just so I can use him in versus battles because it'd be so interesting. He'd be like a baby Yuha or Yuha. Sorry, I minced my words there. A baby Yuha, which would be really really cool to see. I don't know. I'm very excited for this. I simultaneously want him to succeed, though I understand that he's gonna have to fail. But having a composite Black Clover character would be nuts. I would love that. Like spoilers, I already plan to do like a little mini series talking about like how strong would a composite character of like each species or each series would be, like how powerful would they be, what hacks would they have, how dangerous would they be, what would be their most useful stuff, and what would be their least useful stuff. But no, Lucius is just going to make that a reality, like more than even Yuhapa could ever do, minus anti-magic, which is very, very cool. I'm very, very excited. However, we do get to see that Ryu, even with the mentioning that the Land of the Sun would be under siege too, he seems like relatively unfazed. He's very flat-faced. But once again, this is the guy who can see into the future and see in the entire world. He knew that Asta was going to come, so he likely knows what's going to happen already. He's just working his best to kind of prepare Asta and get him ready for the future that's oncoming. So it makes sense why he's so unbelievably calm. However, we see that even with this breaking away, even with all she's done, even with the help and clarity that she's given Asta, she is still unbelievably ashamed of herself. She still feels broken up over everything that is really just happening. Like everything that's happened and is happening, she's broken up over it because it's it's a rough situation. Once again, I can't imagine being put in that situation myself, even if I didn't have the set and strict morals that she does. My morals right now, if I had done what she had done, I would also be extremely ashamed of myself and unbelievably sorry. So I can definitely respect the pain and the agony that she's going through, because it's really, really rough. She joined Lucius. She unsealed the five-headed dragon and brought misfortune to all of them. But even still, her help is invaluable for Asta. I'm assuming the motivation that she gives him here through this moment, and by being a victim of Lucius, is going to be one of the main driving factors that allows Asta to get strong enough to stop Lucius, even on Judgment Day, which will be super great. That is such a cool, I don't know, Judgment Day is just so cool. However, with that being the case, we see that Asta refuses to let her lay in darkness, to blame everything on herself. He adamantly declares that it wasn't your fault. I will never let you take the blame for this. And we see once again the boy that she helped raise, the boy who is the embodiment of all she cares about and all she dreams of, is being her guiding light. And as the final bits of Lucius's infused influence fades away from her, she says, "Thank you, Asta." And then suddenly she's gone. Like, not gone, she doesn't like fade away into light particles like this is Kingdom Hearts or something like that. No, she just lays back, seemingly knocked out, with tears streaming down her face. And Asta wordly asks, "Sister?" Like, obviously. I wouldn't blame her for assuming she just dropped, considering what happened. But we see that Ryu's like, she's not dead. But the only way she'll open her eyes again is if you defeat Lucius. It's likely a failsafe implemented by her so she couldn't be useful. And it's probably implemented on all the paladins. So with that being the case, we're going to use recovery magic on her anyway, just to be safe, because it's better to be safe than sorry. And of course, Fumito ends up using recovery Yojutsu, picking her up in one of his many koi fish. And we see that Asta's like, "Thank you, Fumito-san. I leave sister in your care." And we see Fumito's like, "Don't worry, you can count on me. I won't let you down." And we see that Asta's like, "Wait for me, sister. I swear I will defeat Lucius." However, of course, before he can do that, he has one last task he needs to execute with the Ryuzen 7 all down, and it's to slay the mighty dragon. And of course, the chapter ends. This chapter was extremely short. It was only 12 pages. Realistically, 11. And like, let me see, were there even any spreads in this chapter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there was not even a single spread in this chapter. Tabata's tired. He's on break next week, so I hope he enjoys the break. Once again, the art is peak, the chapter's peak, the character writing's peak, the story writing's peak. Once again, I feel bad for ever doubting Tabata. He's really the ultimate example of, hey, let him cook. And he's been cooking indubitably well. This is a 10 out of 10 chapter for me, mainly because, once again, I find nothing wrong with it. I like the extra background on Lily. I like the determination we get from Asta. I like the affirmation and revelation of Judgment Day and Lucius's true final plans to take all the magic in the world for himself, truly embodying the idea of Wizard Emperor and Asta's new determination to take the Wizard Emperor down. All of this is really, really good. I love it. I really think Tabata is shaping up there. Like, Black Clover is still something that I don't think will... There are definitely aspects in other series that I like more, whether it be characters or writing or action that I like more than Black Clover. But on average, I'd say out of all the series I read, Black Clover has the best balance of everything. It has the art, not the same level, but it has art near to the quality of Horikoshi's. It has character writing near to the quality of Seven Deadly Sins. It has action near to the quality of JJK. Like, it has so many good things in it that it's just a really, really solid story and really, really solid tale that has really, really good cooking behind it. However, that's what I think. Please know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You can support for as low as $1 month. You links, exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.